Order yourself a weak ale. It'll all make sense in a bit. Welcome to the Drowning Wench. What's your pleasure, miss? A weak ale. Never in all my days. We may serve some cheap grog in the wench, but not that was watered down. If our usual ale is too bold for your taste, mayhap you'd like to order from the underground menu. Aye, there's quite a lot on offer for a customer with your roguish charms. Was there something in particular I could help you with? Ah, the trouble over that Magitech loot. 'Twas not a subtle job. The gang in question is an unusual group of former pirates calling themselves the Dainty Demolishers. They seem to be enamored of court dandy mannerisms and have a preference for seizing Garlean machinery. They're also known for conspiring with goblins. Rumors say that the Demolishers visit a beastman camp in Middle Lanosia to fetch their goods. And those goods generally take the form of Imperial technology. I imagine the goblins were rather pleased to take possession of a Mark 63 anti-aircraft cannon firing mechanism. I think the L and the X need to be reversed, but whatever. If you mean to steal the device back, then your trail leads to the goblin camp in Summerford. Summerford, eh? On your way, lass. Meet me across the river from the camp, and we'll plan our next move. Wait, what was the number again? If the X is to the left of the L and L is larger, so 10 needs to be subtracted from 50. So it's 43, I think. Grammar school was a long time ago. Maybe I say something very dumb. Get your noggin down, Monagate. I've been snilching the action across the way there. No sign of the Demolishers, but I did see one of them gambler coves stuffing the Garlean catchet into his backpack. I knew Itolban would stare us all right. This is your chance. Cloud that gambler cobby and grapple that device. I've lost track of which cob it was, but I'm thinking it's that sod on the left. Just make sure you dance away from any bomb blast. Twisting and dodging in the middle of a fireball might not save you from getting your eyebrows singed off. Go on then. That gambler ain't gonna wait all day. Show old Underfoot how you've learned your lessons. That's the way, lass. There was naught for me to do but sit on me dandles and watch. So, you've got the goods then? Developed in the 34th year, so I was right, year of the first Garlean Emperor's reign. This trigger device works with all Imperial Mark 34 aircraft cannons. Aye, this is the device, and no mistaken. Let's get it back to the guild, eh? We still owe them Demolisher bastards a million, but they'll keep for the now. Here, you should be the one to deliver the prize to Jack. It was your hand what snatched it out of the goblin's paws after all. Captain, I say. Some fiend has perpetrated violence upon our goblin colleagues while we sought to wet our throats with fine libations. This will not stand, Captain. Our finely flinched loot has been pilfered from under our noses. Blast and bother. My blood boils and bubbles at the temerity of this affront. I know not the identity of these audacious buffoons, but they shall be made to pay, and pay dearly. With me, my fine fellows. Huzzah! Hand that Magitech gadget directly to Jack. I ain't about to take credit for your fieldwork. You managed to grapple that firing mechanism yet, Monogate? Ah, still in one piece too. You done well for your first assignment, lass. It don't look like much, but that crew put their lives on the line to cloy this here babble. They'll be pleased to see it snatched back from the Ruffmans. We've yet to do for the dainty demolishers, Jack. The job ain't over. You're right, Underfoot, it ain't. You break the code, you face the consequences. Oh ho! This is not at all what I expected from the inside of a convent. And who might you be, sirs? Ha ha ha! Your ignorance is understandable. After all our schemes are always perfect, our heists impeccable. Shall I reveal our infamous name and drink in your delicious terror? We are deadly, dastardly, and dictionally devilish. Quail before the dainty demolishers. Captain, Captain, I say, there's the lout who misappropriated our merchandise. I concur. She's the selfsame simpleton whom we trailed unnoticed to this very establishment. Surprise, surprise! Now, now, my dear dandies, let us not be unpleasant. We should endeavor to resolve this distastefulness without resorting to insults or other less diplomatic methods. At least not yet. You there, yes, the clean-cheeked errand boy. Be a good fellow and fetch me your superior. One of your colleagues has committed a terrible crime against us, and we shall not be leaving until the proper restitution has been paid. Oh ho, an errand boy now, am I? Tell me, Captain, just what kind of place do you think this is, then? This place? Why, I suppose it is some manner of convent. The one-eyed doorman named it the Dutiful Sisters of the Edelweiss, or some such. And you've yet to realize your mistake. Your fate was sealed the moment you dragged your sorry squadron across the threshold. Are you threatening me, boy? I'll have my fellows cut out that impudent tongue. We've exhausted our reserves of dainty today, lads. Show these fraudulent sisters how the demolishers deal with upstarts. You still don't understand, do ya? There are but three sorts of girls what the doorman let pass. Clients, recruits. God spit. I'll kill you all. Didn't your mum teach you not to interrupt a lady when she's talking? You'd have learned that the third sort of cull is the bollocks for brains Mark, what marches himself right into the rogue's den. Rogues? But we were so careful. I'd heard tales in my pirate days. Stories about the merciless wraiths who upheld the code. They weren't called rogues back then, though. The upright thieves, they were. The knives in the shadows. You can't be them. You're just trying to scare me. Well, the captain of the dainty demolishers is not so easily cowed. To hells with your deceptions. Huzzah! Huzzah for my fallen comrades! Deceptions? Aye. Anyone you meet could be a rogue, Captain. Even a clean-cheeked errand boy. He's still breathing. Find some rope and string him up someplace in town. And now the job's done. Quite an introduction you had there, eh? Welcome to Limsa Lominsa's ever-churning underbelly, where the thieves shed their skins and became rogues. I'm not much for discussing the old days, but since it's come up, I might as well clear up the confusion. It was back when piracy was at its peak. The coves what protected the code were dimber dambers, the best lads and lasses to be had from among the pirate crews. They bit back the goods what was wrongly bitten, and came for the guilty under the cover of darkness. Upright thief became the title for these coves, what dealt in sanctioned stealing and milling. But it was only those as had cut all ties with the buccaneer's life what was accepted into the ranks, conflicting loyalties and all that. They formed their own guild, and even their own way of speaking, and what was once pirates was pirates no more. Later on, when Melrip took the admiral's chair, the upright thieves agreed to abide by her laws. We became the Rogues Guild, to mark the change, and altered our recruiting policy to accept adventurers like yourself. But although the title is different, the job remains the same: uphold the code and preserve the underground society what spawned us. Just as you've done with this assignment. Keep up the good work, Monegate, and you'll go far in the shadows. And now that we're finally done with all that, we're going to do some more leaves. Yummy in the tummy. Ah, sea cukes. You've had my pork belly and sea cukes, haven't you? Takes time and care, but simple enough. People forget to scrape out the cukes. That's bad. Make sure to boil the cukes and blanch the pork. Separately, of course. Then you fry them together and simmer in sauce. Delicious. I'll take your word for it. So, and now that we're finally done with all that, we are going to continue the main quest. No, we're going to do side quests, because of course. A. You'll be wanted to cross Ocean's embrace? If you ain't in a hurry to be someplace, I'd rather you hold off for a bell or two. Presently, the bridge is such a right confusion of wagons and such, the damn thing's likely to collapse. We expect a bit congestion, what with this being the only bridge connecting the road from the dry dock to Limsa Lominsa, but today's traffic is something awful. Speaking of which, what in the seven hells does Rismaga thinks he's playing at deserting his post at a time like this? Do me a favor, would ya, Les? Track down that skittish bugger and tell him to get his arse back to directing the chaos at the embrace. Before the calamity gouged out a ravine here, this used to be one long unbroken peninsula. Course, seeing as the Moraby dry docks are on the side opposite the city, construction on the bridge went forward as soon as you could blink. It ain't quite done yet, but the embrace is sturdy enough for a fully loaded wagons to trundle across. Bah, 'twas only a matter of time before they sent someone after me, I suppose. Aye, I heard ya. The bridge is a bloody mess. Truth be told, I wish the damn thing would collapse and save me the suffering. I can't simply wave me hands and have everything suddenly sort itself out now, can I? And if I try reasoning with those demon-spawned coachmen, I'm like to get my head bit off. Listen, if you're not going to let me be, then can you at least have a word with the more irate wagon drivers, you know, soothe their tempers some? That'll be one less headache for me to deal with. You have a word with those irate coachmen and soothe their some tempers, and I'll soon have the rest of this mess sorted out. Blocked again? They'll have the road backed up all the way to the gates at this rate. I swear by the navigator, I'll kick those wagons over the side my damn self if this bridge doesn't open up soon. This is the third time this week. I must have these fish across and properly stored before they begin to spoil. Good sirs and ladies, calm yourselves. There's no need to... Oh, gods. You can take your self-important words and take a dive in the harbor. I have shipwrights expecting this cargo and it'll be a cold day in Tandaland before I back down first. Make way, you ugly bilge rat. I should have been in Limsap bells ago. Eh? I'll calm down when the fishbacks learn to fly. Now move your arse. Well, if you put it like that, then maybe I'll hold me tongue for a bit. Perhaps you do have a point. I shall endeavour to keep a hold on my temper, if only to see the situation resolved before the moon turns. I'm sure glad at least one person on this bridge has her head on straight. Perhaps those useless guards should retire and let you assume their post. Thank you kindly, adventurer. We should be able to get things moving again as soon as... Now where did Vristmaka disappear to? You could be right, Les. Maybe there is room for both of us to squeeze past if I shift an ilm or two to the left. But I probably could have seen that for myself if I hadn't been so busy screaming. Heh. Now half my dry dock shipments is spoiled thanks to this cursed bridge and its endless delays. If only I had spent more coin on chilling the fish. Well done, mate. Well done. Might have been a good show if it come to blows, but we've all have places to be now, don't we? Well, I'll be damned. You actually managed to calm them buckers down. You're a miracle worker, and that's the honest truth. All I need is for the drivers to heed me directions without all that snapping and snarling, you see? I'd best be at it afore they lose their tempers again. Oh, and I'd appreciate it if you could let Captain Dazrael know that I'm back on the job. Vristmaka is back at his post, is he? Your tongue must be made of silver to have accomplished that feat. He can't handle the yelling, you see. The gods only know how such a delicate flower survived guard training in the first place. And he's never going to survive duty at the bridge now that work on the Victory has flooded deliveries coming in and out every bloody day. Vristmaka better harden up, or start looking for a quieter line of work. Don't drink the water. Despite being surrounded on all sides by the sea, fresh water remains difficult to come by on Hildebrand, which is why the few springs that do exist must be protected at all costs from the blighted dodos and jackals who come to the water to drink and defecate. And defecate? Yeah. Oh, woe is me. I seem to have gone and misplaced 4 of my packed lunches. Whatever am I to do? I can hear Aunt Bream's belly grumble all the way from here. I'm certain I made enough for everyone, so it must be that I either dropped a few or gave some to the wrong fellows. Oh, did you hear that? It was Aunt Bream's belly again. He does not look at all pleased, does he? I must stay with my cart. But if you could search the dry docks and see if you cannot find these lunches, I would be eternally grateful. I might even whip up together something special for you. Ah, did you see that? Aunt Bream just gave me the evil eye. If those lunches don't turn up soon, I'm afraid he'll come over here and eat me. I'm sorry, dearie, but these lunches are all for the shipwrights. Noddy and Vermellis hired me to make sure that lads and lasses are fed and well fed. The last thing you need is a hungry crafter fainting at the top of the mast and making a mess of the deck. Wafufu be needing one of her lunches back, you say? And here I was beginning to think the lass had eyes for me. Not that she's my type, mind you. I like me woman a few hands taller and a few pounds heavier and a few shades bluer, if you catch me drift. I wouldn't have minded the extra meal though. A man can work up quite a craving when he's pounding, stretching and shaping sheets of iron all day. Don't look like much right now, but when I'm done pounding, stretching and shaping, these sheets of iron will fit snug onto the hull of the ship, just like a shining suit of armor. Don't tell me. You came to collect my lunch. I can see it in them accusing eyes of yours. Sure, I knew right well that none of these lunches were meant for me, what with today being my day off and all, but I never thought little Wafufu would miss just one. If I give back the lunch, would you promise me that you'll not mention that it was I who took it? I don't want the lass to think I was trying to swindle her, even though that's sort of what I was trying to do, but she doesn't have to know that now, does she? Right then, carry on. Look at that handsome wench. From here you can see her whole body. Admire the perfection of her curves. It'll be a glorious day indeed when you finally let her slip into the water. Eh? I'm talking about the victory, you gut-dwelling landlubber. Please tell me you found the lunches. I swear Aunt Bream has shifted several paces closer since you departed. Boiled boar, stewed dodo, steamed cabbage, a slab of stone cheese and a hunch of day-old bread. Everything a hard-working shipwright needs to maintain his or her figure. 1, 2, 3, 4. You did it. You found all the missing lunches. Now perhaps I can rest in peace, knowing that Aunt Bream won't be indulging in his cannibalistic fantasies. At least for today. I think you're the only one with the cannibalistic fantasies. And I'll leave you to it.